Hey, bienvenidos a Late Nights in East Los. And yeah, my name is Jesua Bones. I'm here with my friends of Noche de Travesuras. And I'm going to go ahead and go on with 2 songs to open our interview. Looks like the end. Looks like the end. Looks like the end. That one's called Give Up. It's off my first album, Traumathon. It was released in September of 2017. And here's the next one. This is called Heavy Heart. It's a single I released last year. Awesome.
And welcome back to Late Night Jesua, my friends. Thanks for tuning back in. Tonight we have the pleasure of hosting Noche de Travesuras. It's an all queer night. I'm so excited and very happy because even the team is queer tonight. So welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. A pleasure. We have Jesua Bones, star extraordinaire, modelo,
Stop it.
chingona,
Modelo
todóloga.
time.
And we have some first timers in our show. Welcome, DJ
Sad boy.
DJ Sad Boy, and then
And DJ Baby
they
Uniq.
Baby Unique. Okay, I was gonna say Baby Blue. I don't know why I got that name stuck in my head,
What's your
but
favorite color?
my favorite color probably. If you are watching back there on Facebook Live, make sure that you go on our official website, Late Nights in Islos. That takes you to our YouTube channel. That is the official video now, where you won't see the what's happening back there. Subscribe, like, comment. Facebook works just like any other social media. You have to follow me, and then I promise that if you subscribe to my channel, I'll subscribe to your channel, and I'll go in and like each and every one of your videos, because again, we have to create that traffic, right, so that Google picks us up and a lot more people are able to enjoy of the talent that we bring every week straight out of East LA for the world to enjoy. So tell us about Noche de Travesuras. What is Noche de Travesuras? I like the name, by the way. It kind of makes little horns grow out of my forehead.
Wow, to one of our shows.
I know.
Because that's usually what happens.
I work so much that I'm out of energy by the time this nightlife happens. I did my nightlife in my 20s, and I think I'm a little burned out. But hey, there's always young blood out there that needs, and the scene is changing so much, and I think that there's more spaces for us, more safer. I'm not gonna say safe, because obviously I think there's a lot of work that still needs to be done regarding general heteronormative society, including us, or allowing us to be a fully integrated with their society. But there's a lot more baby queers, growing ups, people that need these safer spaces where we can congregate and just really, be able to be ourselves. That's all we really ask and what we need.
And that's what I think our party is.
That's what your party is?
Yeah, and then beyond that, we are inclusive rather than exclusive, so we allow everyone into the space and everyone to learn and be a part of it. And instead of pushing anyone out, we're here to educate. If there are any questions about being queer or queerness, we're open and able to have a conversation about it. And I think most of our clients and our fans are also like that. All very intelligent people, all ready to advance all together as brown people and queer people.
How did this trifecta come together, and why Noche de Travesuras?
Because of him. We came together because of
Yes.
him.
We pretty much all followed each other via social media. Like, followed each other's arte, todo, each other's shows and whatnot. And yeah, I guess the core of it is one day I had this idea to kind of create an event that tied in my background, which I used to DJ as Kid Orange, and I used to DJ at raves like Happy Hardcore and drum and bass. So I wanted to bring that rave feel with a perreo spin, and I was who's down? And the first two people I thought of were Baby and Jesua. So I hit them up, and we did our first edition in 2017, December. Yeah. And yeah, ever since then, we've just been kind of expanding, growing together, getting the opportunity to share lots of cool spaces and meet nuevo gente. So
this is a very special that you're here because you are leaving Los Angeles. Does that mean that Noche de Travesuras get to travel now to you as well? Happen in the new hometown?
Yeah, actually. So I'm actually moving to the East Coast. Baby and Jesua will be taking over the creative direction and everything for the LA chapter of Noche de Travesuras, and then I'll be handling cosas in New York, laying down the foundation so that we can all eventually kind of, just travel and still remain together and build community essentially in the same community, but on different sides of the states.
What have been some of the spaces that have opened up the doors for you to come in and creating Noche de Travesuras? How often did it happen, or how often does it happen? And what is there is it like a theme night? Perreo, obviously, you said is one of the concepts that you wanted to bring, but Jesua is not perreo. You obviously bring in a different feel to the night,
He
or how?
introduced me to the music, and it was felt really right with me. Especially at the time, I was going through a really dark time, like around 2017. And it was just like, I feel like the Perro music was like a perfect way to deal with whatever was happening around. So it's just like go and dance, you know, don't just sit in, you know, despair, like get out. So it forced me to go out. The music's really easy to get dancing into. And I love electronic music. I think having the perreo that we're also talking about is like a new wave of reggaeton. It's very like electronic infused with like, you know, your old school reggaeton ingredients. And I think that's what made me even love it even more. Because reggaeton to me wasn't necessarily like, I wasn't like a big fan, but I'm a big fan of the new wave of what's going on. You know, a lot of women taking control in their position and these front women singers. And what they're talking about, having their queer friends being involved in their projects as well. That's what I love. What this new wave is going. There's like artists like Misil, artists like Tomas de Real, and these are very big upcoming artists. So essentially, we all like just fell in love with that music, and we were like, let's push it forward for them too, because this is like great. Because Perreos has always been kind of like a man-dominated kind of scene, or always like, you know, a hetero kind of scene. I've never seen a queer perreo. Maybe there were underground ones, but like I don't even know. You know, I'm like doing alternative shit before I did this.
Just for educational purposes, name some artists that would be considered perreo.
So let's do old school perreo artists.
Old school perreo artists include, everything escaped my mind next in one spot.
Rakim and Kenny.
No, there's a big one I'm thinking of. And it was just her birthday. Her birthday just passed.
Evie Queen.
Evie Queen.
Okay.
I'd say that's.
Oh, that is perreo.
She is the number one
Nicky Jam.
influence
Okay.
of what's going on, I think.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
she just made a new video or something, right? And then she's
did.
promising a collaboration with Cardi B or something.
Oh, believable.
yeah.
Believable.
And then I heard Cardi B is speaking Spanish the other day, and I was like, I didn't know that she spoke Spanish.
Oh,
She's Dominican.
Afro
Latina?
Yeah.
Cool.
Dominicana.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. That's awesome. I was like, I thought she was like, you know, monolingual or something. Yeah, I remember one of my roommates actually was very much into Ivy Queen, and yeah, he loved perreo.
Daddy Yankee. Can't forget Daddy
Right.
Yankee.
Daddy Yankee, okay. But he's more like dance, you know, like more pop, I think.
Reggaeton.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because you infuse together that, and then, you know, obviously the industry kind of takes you on to the
Yeah, of course. Well, I wouldn't consider your music perreo though. I would consider more like dance electronic, maybe.
My music?
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
what would you consider it?
I consider it pop. I do. That's what I aim for. But my goal is to fuse pop and my Latin heritage together into one.
That's what it felt like. Yeah.
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 That's exactly what it is.
Nice.
And it's like a, you know,
So three different elements, kind of like completely separate from each
Yeah.
other, coming together and creating these awesome night. I wonder if any of our audiences has actually like gone to your nights and they're watching, and you have watched. Make sure that you're commenting, and please tell me how it is to go into this fusion, and you know how it feels more like it. You know, because I'm sure that it attracts a very unique crowd, and it mixes, or it brings like it brings different. Elements and
Yeah.
they all mix there, you know, and I can see that party happening. No wonder Noche de Travesuras sounds a little wild.
it is. It's a
Uh-huh.
little wild, a little dirty. It's a little fun. It's a lot of fun.
Who are other performers that do you always bring performers? Is it only the three of you that like you two performing and you DJing the night, or do you bring in other guest DJs perhaps?
We definitely, it's always los tres, you know, like our residents. We have our resident photographer, Emilio, but we do our best to kind of bring in other artists from like the perreo scenes, like around everywhere, really, you know, especially like other queer perreos and a lot of the femmes. You know, we've had like Liz, we've had Sanchita for the first edition, who did like a perreo song just to kind of you know, give something to the night that was kind of in the same area. Who else have we had?
We've also had
Chico Sonido.
y Tomas Noche de LNiEL y
Surprise
came
performance.
through, surprise
Gracias.
performed for us
Yes,
last
that was
time, last
beautiful.
Noche
That
de
was so
Travesuras
nice.
for our 1-year anniversary. That was really fun.
Leo Perreo.
A recurring guest is Tech Girl. She's a partner of mine. We make a lot of
Yes.
music together. And we've also had,
Sustancia.
yes, Flavia
De
Sustancia,
Argentina.
Rip Tony, Luciciando, y
Mucha from TJ. Also
Yes.
that was our
So you
most
have
recent
international
performer.
talent.
I'm Bianca Oblivion.
Oh, that's a lot of people actually. Yeah.
Yes.
So
All
3
friends of ours.
years. 3 years.
Well,
Is that
1 year.
1 year anniversary just happened in February.
okay? And we're promoting an upcoming event.
It's a monthly event.
It's a month.
So always,
and
every
it
month.
happens when.
The next one is I'm not even
We're
sure
we're
yet.
working on a little something. I want to do. We want to do one last thing together before I move to Brooklyn and cooking up something in the cocina.
Mhm.
Pero
So a
no
little
date
farewell
as of
party.
yet. Yeah.
It's gonna be
Farewell,
big.
perreo.
The airliner just got sold, and that's where
Yeah.
we had it going on last. So we also need to look for a new venue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That does
I was
weekends.
reading a lot of
Very
musicians,
unfortunate.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's what happened.
I grew up in Lincoln Heights also. So I have a lot of-
Gentrification.
Yes, I know. I'm so upset. That's my neighborhood. I'm so sad. I really am.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really, really upset. Especially
Yes.
the airliner. There's a lot of history there.
How old is it?
The airliner? I
Mhm.
don't really know, but I just remember like being a child and seeing the line for Low End Theory going all the way around the block
think you
for
performed
years.
there, right?
I
You
did. My
performed-
first
yeah.
performance was there too. That was a long
Cute.
time ago. I don't even remember what year, like 2012 or something. I don't know.
Órale.
But yeah, that was a long time ago. But yeah, no, I'm really sad about the changes Lincoln Heights is going through right now. But I feel like there's nothing I can do about it. Also, I don't know. It's really unfortunate.
Buy property.
Yeah, you know, let's
Let's
get
just
that
make-
money going.
let's just-
Yeah.
That's
Paper.
true.
Let's get that fun going and then
Get
you
that
already know.
perreo going.
Yeah, get that perreo fun going. I accept tips.
So
DM for
Little
Venmo.
twerk in there. Yeah.
PayPal, Cashy, debit.
Venmo, square cash, cold hard cash,
I accept it all.
food stamps.
Everything. We'll find a way to use it.
We'll not say no.
No,
We're not ungrateful. We are humble. We will take anything.
So it's always been parked at the airliner, or have you guys performed at other? Have other venues opened their doors for you?
We started at the Lash, which is, I think it was the best place we could have started. Noche de Travesuras, and the staff is amazing,
Yeah.
and the crowd is amazing, and I really like the Lash. I like the Lash a lot. I miss the Lash, but our party's growing, so we need to grow as well with
I've
it.
never been to the Lash.
I like that venue.
It's a very alternative scene, kind of like the alternative nightlife.
Mm-hmm.
You would, kind of like 80s on acid.
Sounds
Pretty
good.
much.
I mean, I don't know what to
Yeah.
think, but every time you go in there, it's
Some
always
acid.
like,
It is like
it's
that.
always a trip. It's always like they're playing dance, trance music. And sometimes it's like dark wave. It's very alternative. Like,
Cool.
it's neat.
New places for new people, new
Mhm.
generations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
wild. And you're right, it's always changing, and I think that's what even led me to be wanting to even honored and grateful to be a part of Noche de Travesuras, because music is a big deal in all of our creative careers. So it was like kind of like a no-brainer to be like, let's do this, let's get involved, let's make this bigger than it can.
Any challenges creating Noche de Travesuras?
Oh, many, of course. Of course, there are challenges, but we always come together and always strive through all of our challenges.
Yeah.
And I think that what's gotten us through any of our challenges is just teamwork. It's always teamwork.
Aside from Noche de Travesuras, where else could we find each of you performing, perhaps, or where would be your next individual event?
She DJs, you do like DJ shows.
I
right?
do DJ
Yes,
shows.
she
My
does
next
some frequently.
booked event is March 24th at Red Lion in downtown LA. It's called The Telephone Effect.
Yes.
Be there.
Oh, that's with Ice, what's that? Their queen, drag queens
Yes.
that are hosting.
Something Coke.
Ice Coke, I know I'm so bad.
And Seduce Your Richmond.
Seduce Your Richmond.
My girl Seduce Your
I love
Richmond.
her.
Shout out.
Yes.
The
Oh my God, I
24th?
want to go.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, please be there.
Yes.
Let's go.
Please be there.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do this.
So yeah, that's my next show, and you can find all of my music right now on SoundCloud or Bandcamp, and you can search DJ Baby Uniq, UNIQ. And soon enough, I will have my music on all streaming platforms, which I'm really excited about. T minus 14 days.
Yeah.
You said what? I'm sorry.
I said all of my music will be available on all streaming platforms. T minus 14 days.
I thought. How about CDs? Or
CDs?
everything digital? Or merch? Do
Everything's
you have
digital
any-
right now. I
Yeah?
don't have any merch.
merch?
Like I said, I'm a very humble artist. I am just starting out. But I have a lot of work to do this year, and I have a lot of really exciting stuff coming this year. I have an EP coming out at the end of this month, and hopefully some merch coming out with that as well.
Well, I love t-shirts, so make sure that you hit me up when you have your t-shirt. I'll buy one.
Oh
from you.
yes, thank you, absolutely.
I'm always repping band t-shirts when I'm about. Today I'm repping my Q Youth Foundation
I
shirt,
love
the
that.
DL queer,
Yeah.
which represents the kind of like these undercover, because people look at you and unless I know that like when you're in performance you face backlash from certain communities, or have you experienced that?
I have, unfortunately, sometimes. But I think that's what I learned, who to work with and who to, like, be a part of. Like, who to get your clicks with and who, will kind of...
Which is kind of like this under the radar that we need to fly, in order to be able to move around. Otherwise, there's still a lot of homophobia in the community, and there is a lot of homophobia in the musical community specifically. And I'm always astounded because people that work with and something that I say is like, just because you work alongside or just because you allow the space to queer people, that doesn't necessarily make you an ally, because then you're taking on that savior complex of like, oh, I'm an ally. And you're like, you're a self-labeled ally. We might not consider you an ally because we might not agree with the way that you think. Sometimes heterosexual people, the way that they talk, you can hear this deep embedded machismo and homophobia that there exists in the community. And it's like, if you don't catch yourself when you are talking like this around queer people or even outside, because obviously you're going to watch yourself around queer people, but when you're doing it with the rest of your heterosexual community, then that's when you really know, there's a problem. And when especially men, they're faced with this, or someone calls them out on this, they get all, oh, but this is part of the culture, this is how we grow up, and it doesn't mean anything, and blah. And it's like, no, it's homophobia. Well, however you want to call it, it's still homophobia, and this is precisely what I mean by, just because you work with us or just because you allow us in your space and you tolerate us doesn't make you an ally, because you're not actively working towards eradicating community from the way that you think, so that you can pass that on to your children, hopefully the next generation, so that we can really erase homophobia. So it's an ongoing conversation, and like I said, I sometimes come across these musicians and I'm like, hey, and in the nicest way I can, is like, please don't use these words because this is in backlash. And it's like, all right, so you're not really an open-minded person, you're not really ready to learn and to grow and to really work alongside us. So and it's kind of sad, because you would think that we would unite as people of color, we would present a united front, and it's like there's all these fractures that there exist. So how are we ever going to conquer if we're still divided like that? And then you have experience. You were talking about, he used to live in our neighborhood here in East LA, and he suffered a lot of homophobic attacks right here down the street, and I'm surprised, and that's the reason why I wear this shirt, because I am a little more cis, I think. And for those of you that don't know what the word cis is, means I pass for a heterosexual guy, and I use the word pass. So people look at me and they don't really think that I'm gay unless I say it out loud. I'm gay. So this shirt, to me, that's what it represents. That
hiding in the shadows.
Yeah, hiding in the shadows. And I get to hear all these conversations. Dude, I get to hear locker room conversations, and I'm like, if women hear this, they will be flipping, and it's yeah. So
It's definitely an ongoing thing. I don't know if it's. I think it's growing little by little, like this normative kind of thing. But it also depends on the mentality of people that are willing to be open. Like I think even this new generation is being a little more open minded, but it's also like stemmed from obviously like who raised them and you know where, because it's all like, you know, there's this complex into it, and it's like, well, we have no like control, but we're like, I think that's why when you have like, you know, we're inviting everybody, but just be respectful, you know, and we even let people know if you feel disrespectful by anybody, you let us know. We have the power to kick them out or like, you know, help you out. So it's just like, you know, that's what we can do as far as like, but yeah, it's also like when you're making space or, you know, it's kind of like taking up space. It's like that's what we have to do then. We have to take up space, showing who we are, and that's just it, you know. You can't really hide if you want to see it grow.
of course.
That too.
And you have to be patient. You have to be
Yeah.
patient and kind and want to educate as much as you want to learn. Because I think that's the block with some people. Is they don't feel like they need to learn anything more. And if you're not able to be patient and kind, they're not going to receive the message. Like, there's no point in having an argument because no one's going to walk away changing their mind from an argument.
Have you had anybody from the like your club goers reach out to you and like, hey, thank you for having this space or something like that? Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
tons of fan mail.
It's nice.
I love it.
It's sweet.
Some here and there, you know.
Como que no te gusta, ¿verdad?
At the Red Line recently, some guy, I forget his name, but he was like, I came only for you. And because Noche de Travesuras, that's how I met you. And I was like, this is wild. Like, he wanted to talk to me after the show had just ended, and I was like, this is wild. It was like getting a taste of what we were doing. And it was kind of scary but enlightening to know that, like, you know, they feel that they belong. They're queer, they felt like lost, but they, you know, they're really into the wide variety of music that we play, and it's fucking badass. I think that's amazing. That, you know, because even though you could still feel like, even pop music sometimes can make you feel like an outsider, you know, because the mainstreams are probably talking about the same stuff over and over, but then you hear like turn music and it's like something else, something more like
Something that connects with you.
there you go. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see that you are, you know, your music continues, because last time you were here, you did a little solo with your acoustic guitar before the Frida Runway, right? And then I just see you, and you are kind of like a perfectionist, you know. I remember when you were getting your makeup done, and you were like, I worked so hard to get here. And I was like, yeah, you know, like he keeps polishing his act every single time, and he just continues evolving and growing, and that's pretty awesome. He has more fans on Instagram than we do. He has like 5,000 fans. We have 1,000 and something. And I was like, I'm so honored to have you here. Thanks for being here. You too, thanks for being here again. And so sad that you are leaving the West Coast, but I'm sure that I'll be able to visit the East Coast and go party with Noche de Travesuras.
Right, that's what we
check
planned.
out.
Oh, yeah, you already know.
Okay.
Look out, New York. Meow.
Okay.
And
Okay,
any
manzana.
la manzana, me la voy a comer. Any last words for our audience? And audience, please, if you have any questions, make sure that you are putting those on the comments, and we'll go in and answer them afterwards. Facebook, please. YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Get to follow us on our Instagram page as we're most active. We also have a Facebook page, so gonna soon to have New York events.
We'll have Noche de Travesuras, New York,
We're
LA.
coming for you. We're coming for you, mundo.
Who knows where we'll branch out to next. But
El mundo.
Okay.
Always fun, taking
upcoming
international.
shows.
Huh?
Do you have
Upcoming
any?
show? He mentioned it earlier, but you can repeat it again.
Not recently, right now.
Oh,
The
it
most
was
recent
her, it
thing
was
was like,
her.
yeah, it was her. She has I have like a house party, but I can't invite everybody.
Okay.
Unless they're homies. That's a homie thing.
BYOB.
BYOB.
Slide into our
BYOW, bring your own wig.
Ha!
And then, you know, so it's a good time.
We'll have it pop in all weekend. También I'm playing at No Seso's The Bust Down this weekend. Tickets on Restless Nights. And también Club Unido being put on by Looney Jam. Feliz cumples. So yeah, it's gonna be popping.
And I'm going to step out, and we're gonna have one last performance with DJ Uniq, and you're gonna enjoy it very much. And we're
DJ
gonna
Baby Unique.
Baby Unique, and we're gonna have another performance next week. Please tune in every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, via our YouTube channel, LateNightsInIslos.com. You can Google us and make sure that you subscribe and follow us on all social media if you want to perform. This space is open for all of you. Local artists, and not only for artists, although usually we have been having all musical performers, but if you're a poet, if you're a writer, a scene maker, you own a local business that here in this ladies spaces for you, we're always happy to have you and give you a little time on the air, because we gotta take that spotlight for ourselves. So thanks for tuning back in, and we'll see you next week. Thanks again, guys.
Gracias
Thanks for
for
having
having
us.
us.
Baby G.
DJ Baby Unique. Me estoy volviendo loca, porque tú en mi cabeza. Llámame tu traviesa, quieres que sea tu muñeca. Porque soy tan escandalosa, porque no siento nada, no quiero sentir nada. Todo lo que quiero es mi dinero, voy a la necesidad. Dale baby, sentir en mi cuerpo, no voy a ponerme celosa, no importa lo que me gusta. Él dice que soy sabrosa, sabe como fresas, porque soy tan escandalosa, porque no siento nada, no quiero sentir nada. Todo lo que quiero es mi dinero, voy a la necesidad. Dale baby, sentir en mi cuerpo, no siento nada, no siento nada, no siento nada, no siento nada. No quiero sentir nada, no siento nada, no quiero sentir nada, no siento nada.
the single nun. I hope you enjoyed it. And next is my upcoming single called Jugar Conmigo. It's not out yet, but keep an eye out. I have an old EP coming out at the end of the month. Unreleased, baby Uniq. Y me perreo.
Cuando bailo, sé que te veo. ¿Qué quieres hacer conmigo? Mírame, mírame, dale papi. Esta noche jugar conmigo. Si puedes tocar mi cuerpo, cuerpo a cuerpo, cuerpo a cuerpo, cuerpo a cuerpo, cuerpo a cuerpo. Cuando bailo, sé que te veo. ¿Qué quieres hacer conmigo? Mírame, mírame, dale papi. Esta noche jugar conmigo. Si puedes tocar mi cuerpo, cuerpo a cuerpo, cuerpo a cuerpo, cuerpo a cuerpo, cuerpo a cuerpo. Esta noche jugar conmigo. Esta noche, si puedes tocar mi cuerpo. Esta noche, quieres yo, malamente, 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 quieres yo, malamente, malamente, mírame, mírame, esta noche, jugar conmigo, esta noche, jugar conmigo.
Gracias. Quieres yo, malamente, 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 quieres yo, malamente, malamente, mírame, mírame. Thanks again. Love you. DJ Baby Uniq.